is Burundi National TV broadcasting from Bujumbura, economic capital city. We begin our English news edition by top stories. Our ministries are called upon to send their workers' payroll statements on time for processing. The Vice President urged this Thursday during his visit to the Ministry of Public Service. And each household is encouraged to initiate a development project that aligns with the 2040 and 2060 vision. This call was made on Thursday by the president of the Intwara-Rumuri Association during the handing over of the peace torch in the communes of Butaganzwa and Ruyigi in the province of Buhumuza. Welcome to News in Details. I'm Joseph Monindajam. This Thursday, the President of the Republic, Evariste Ndayishimiye, received in urgence in Bururi Commune the Special Envoy of the United Nations Secretary General for the Great Lakes region, Juan Xia. The latter stated that they had come to listen to the head of state before preparing his next briefing for the Security Council scheduled for October 13th, 2025. Moreover, these two figures exchanged views on peace efforts in Africa, particularly the efforts undertaken by the United States and Qatar in favor of peace in DRC. And then after this urgence, President Evariste Ndayishimiye presented citizens of Bururi Commune a new administrator, Godelieve Ntakirutimana. He also asked the leaders to be solutions of the citizens' concerns. The administrator of Bururi Commune pledged to effectively serve those she leads. We will follow up on this story in our later editions. As I said in top stories, all ministries are called upon to send their workers' payroll statements on time for processing. The Vice President urged this Thursday during his visit to the Ministry of Public Service. Elsie Kamukama reports.
Now we are at the office of Civil Service Ministry, where Burundi Vice President Prosper Bazombanza arrived at exact 9 a.m. The purpose of his visit was to witness the step already made in the centralization of Civil Service Ministry services in different provinces, as well as digitalization of them and the Civil Service official career update. During the interview, he said that he salutes the step already made, as the digitalization has already reached 80%. However, he mentioned that the lists need to be collected as soon as possible so that they may be at the same level with others. Note that 90,000 civil servant files have been already done by Infonet via Igisawa software.
We stay in Bujumbura at Kigobe Hemschool now. The National Assembly of Burundi convened on
cooperation agreement signed between the government of Burundi and that of Angola in the fields of economy, science and culture. The second involved the ratification of agreement aimed at strengthening cooperation through regular diplomatic consultations between the two countries and in Rwanda. On October 6th, the National Assembly will convene to review and adopt the draft bill for the ratification of the framework agreement between the government of Burundi and the Principality of Monaco signed in Paris. On October 7th, both chambers of the Parliament, the National Assembly and the Senate, will meet in Congress to receive the Prime Minister, who will present a report on the implementation of the government's work plan and annual budget for the second half of the 2024-2025 fiscal year. On October 8th, the National Assembly will analyze and adopt the final audit report on the management of the Ngozi Regional Hospital presented by the Court of Auditors. The Minister of Public Health and Fight Against AIDS will respond to questions from the members of Parliament regarding this report. On October 9, during another plenary session, the Minister in charge of Mines, Energy, Industry, Trade and Tourism will present the report from the Court of Auditors on the management of Regideso and respond to parliamentary inquiries. Throughout this period, parliamentary committee work will continue. It's also worth noting that this Thursday, the National Assembly reviewed and adopted the amendments submitted by the Senate to the draft law regarding the loan agreement between the government of Burundi and the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADE in French acronym, for financing of the second phase of the construction of National Road number 16 between Mutambara, Bururi and Kibaya, Mwea. This was adopted.
We now headed to Buhumuza province, whereby, as said in top stories, each household is encouraged to initiate a development project that aligns with the 2040 and 26 vision. This call was made on Thursday by the president of the Intwara Rumuri Association during the handing over of the peace torch in the communes of Butaganzwa and the Ruyigi in the province of Buhumuza. Jackson Irakoze has details.
After having eliminated development activities this Wednesday in Muyinga Commune, the peace torch arrived in Ruyigi Commune that same evening, where it was joyfully welcomed by the people of Ruyigi town. On this Thursday morning, the flame was taken to Rukaragata village, still in the Ruyigi Commune, where local authorities, the torch bearers and the population carried out community development work, which involved paving a classroom at Nyamutobo Basic School, a school built by the local population with support from the administration. The flame then continued its journey to Butaganzwa Commune, still in Buhumuza province, where it eliminated the construction work of a reading and cultural center on Muriza Hill. Everywhere it passed, the peace torch was warmly received by citizens and the local leaders, who emphasized that they had been waiting for its arrival to bring light and motivation to their development projects. It was also an opportunity for local authorities to symbolically place their hand on the flame as a sign of commitment to be role models for those they lead. Each leader is therefore called to be a light, and every household is encouraged to start a development project in line with the 2040-2016 national vision, as stated by Epipode Baranyikwa, president of the Intwara Rumuri Association. He also urged the students to study with a clear vision for their future. He congratulated Buhumuza province for ranking first at the national level in the 9th grade national exam last academic year. He also applauded the education stakeholders and the local leaders who raised awareness among parents to send their children to school with shoes. It is worth noting that Butaganzwa Commune marked the end of the Flame of Peace journey in Buhumuza province for this 19th edition, before continuing this Friday to Bulunga province.
And the World Health Organization office in Burundi made a donation this Thursday of equipment intended for the maternity and neonatology departments at Rwakarede Hospital. Dr. Xavier Crespin, a WHO representative in Burundi, indicated that this donation is part of the goal to improve the health of mothers and children, especially since a woman at this hospital is about to give birth to quintuplets. Jackson Yakoze once more.
This donation consisted of various equipment intended to support maternity services, specifically materials to assist during childbirth in the maternity unit, and others to treat and care for premature or underweight newborns in the neonatology unit. The total value of the equipment exceeds 312 million Burundian francs. Dr. Xavier Crispin, WHO representative in Burundi and the one who officially handed over the donation, stated that this support is part of the organization's contribution to assist the Burundian government's goal of improving maternal and child health. He particularly noted that at Huakalede Hospital, a woman is expected to give birth to quintuplets. He also called on the hospital to take good care of the equipment they have received. Dr. Ananinda Chaisaba, head of the reproductive health program at the Ministry of Public Health, who represented the minister, expressed appreciation for WHO's contribution and the support of the government's efforts to improve healthcare services. He also announced that the ministry itself had provided additional equipment to ensure the safe delivery of the woman pregnant with quintuplets. He reminded the hospital's management to preserve and properly maintain this equipment, since beyond assisting this particular case, it will continue to benefit other patients, especially newborns who are premature or born underweight.
Well, that's it for me now. Thanks for watching. Programs continue at Nation TV. Stay tuned and take care.